Hand clap to the massive guys. We are finally back again for another one on the one and only Mystelics reaction. And guys, this is gonna be the first one. I'm gonna be dropping 2 of them, so definitely guys check out the first comment in the comment box below so you can get that link right there. And then guys, big up all of Mystelics YouTube family, the greatest family on YouTube. When it comes down to the Caribbean people, big up the Mystelics YouTube family. Guys, definitely give this video a thumbs up. Of course, you can clearly see why it is important to give this video a thumbs up. So click the thumbs up button. I would appreciate that. And of course, don't comment on the big up on yourself one time for definitely tuning into this here reaction video. If you have not done so, guys, definitely subscribe and turn on that post notifications so you can become a part of the Mystelics family. Mystelics family, the greatest family ever lived. But of course, if you want to become a part of the Mystelics family and of course get the vibrations where I tend to give my viewpoints on things pertaining to that of Dominica diaspora and the Caribbean as well as the Caribbean diaspora, you can definitely get that vibrations right there. Subscribe, click the bell, and then click all so you'll be pretty much notified when I drop my videos right there. And then, like I said before, guys, this is the first one, so let us get into it, guys, about the whole situation involving the elections. We tend to be focused on Dominica and what is taking place. This is of course Annette, and it is giving a viewpoint on whether she's going to be joining into this year's election or she's not going to be doing that. We're going to see what she has to say in this regard right there. Run the thing, please, selector.
All right.
Okay.
So on November 6th of this month, 2022, we heard that the Prime Minister called for elections carried for December 6, 2022.
By the way, before we continue, congratulations on your baby, yeah? Congratulations. I just had to get this out. How do we? All right. Congratulations, guys. Give this video a thumbs up for Annette and her new baby, I believe. Yeah, so congratulations.
And a lot of people have been calling. Many people want to know my position.
Yep.
Many people want to know what is it I'm going to do. There's some people encouraging me not to participate in elections, and there are other people encouraging me to participate, and some people also inquiring whether I would want to run as an independent candidate.
The big question I must say right there, guys, is who exactly is the one pretty much asking you to run? Are these people doing it for the betterment of your people or the Dominican people, the Kalinago Massive? Are they doing it for the betterment or are they doing it for themselves? Or is there some sort of agenda that is taking place? Who exactly? That's why I tend to gauge the people that I tend to listen to, whether they are seemingly for themselves or are they seemingly wanting to see betterment in the community. So exactly are you getting this notion from? I think this is a cue that we can always get to understand who exactly we must actually listen to. Anyways, let's continue.
But before I go into that topic and discuss all these things, I just want to highlight the fact that I served as senator for 2 years. Basically 2 years, and throughout these 2 years I had a few people who worked with me and who helped me and who made all the activities that I had successful. And I just want to pause to say thank you to these people. So first of all, I want to say thank you to the United Workers Party for giving me the opportunity to serve as senator in parliament and to be a voice for my people.
She's sounding like she about to end there. I don't know, she's like she about to end there. We'll see.
That was a great opportunity.
Like end with the party and then go and do the stuff. Who knows? Let's continue.
I learned a lot, and I figured that I got some growth in terms of representation, leadership, and all of that. I also want to extend thanks to the Salibia United Workers Party Association, the people who stood with me. They said that politics is not for the faint-hearted.
No, it's not.
Politics are for people who are very strong. And I really want to commend the men and the women who stood with me despite of everything that they were going through.
I like that fact that she's picking up the very people, because to us, we consider Annette to be a very strong person. But then it's not just about the person themselves, they also need to have a strong backbone. And when you have a strong backbone, of course, you'll be able to do things. When you're feeling weak, then you can always have people who hold you up and say, hey, no, continue the fight. Right there. So the big question is, are they looking to have her continue the fight? What exactly is going on?
We know the high levels of discrimination, the high levels of victimization, but they stood with me to ensure that the programs and the activities that I conducted, that they were successful.
Not only that though, remember they tried to bribe Annette. They tried to bribe her, giving her monies for them to switch sides or something. Remember that time? When she came out and announced it? It seems like a lot of people tend to forget a lot of things, man.
So they know themselves, and I want to say thank you so much.
And I'm talking about the DLP trying to bribe her. She literally said that some time back.
I also want to say thank you to you, the supporters, for all the support that you gave, whether it be financial, whether it be some form of encouragement, particularly during my maternity period. I want to say thank you so much.
Congrats.
These are the kind of encouragement that keep me going and help me to become a better person every day.
You need strong people on your team, man. You definitely need strong people on your team. But let me see if I can forward this a bit.
Some of these include the hot meals for the elderlies.
Okay, so stuff she has done. You guys can check out the link.
For students to go through the grade 6 extra lessons program. And that was a very successful program. During that program, we saw that the number of students who passed the common entrance really went up. And so hopefully in the future, we will continue to have these programs at the schools. We also embarked on sponsoring various sporting activities. We had the Crevice River Majestic cricket team that we sponsored, and we also sponsored lately the Kalinago Barona Ote Warriors, who won the game at the stadium. So these were the 2 cricket teams that we sponsored. We also did the agriculture program, the agriculture export program, to assist our farmers to export their produce to overseas markets. We also embarked on the Kalinago Youth Got Talent, which was very successful.
I saw that one.
We also did the backyard gardening competition, which was another successful activity.
Promoting
all
agriculture.
These were done by the Salibia Constituency Association. Then, additionally, I was also part.
So before she continues, guys, my question here, the reason why I stopped, because I was trying to skip to the other parts and stuff, but it seems like they have been doing a number of things in the community. The big question is, what has the representation who was elected done for his people? I haven't heard anything. Have you guys heard anything? What exactly have they done? All I know, I remember that they were clearing up some spots, and then some other people were coming to do something there, and they came to pretend as if they were the ones doing it, and they put it on, they kind of tried to put it under the name of them doing something, and it wasn't them doing it. That is what I remember. I even linked up with some of the individuals that were doing the very thing right there, and they were like, no, they're not part of the DLP team. People come in and try to pretend as if they were trying to do something. No. So it's interesting. What exactly have the representative done?
Of an NGO that comprised of indigenous professionals, and some of the projects that we wrote proposals for, majority of them got approved, and they included 1, the journalism project, where we offered scholarships to 4 indigenous young people who would attend the London School of Journalism to complete studies in journalism. Now, this idea really...
And Dominica needs some journalists there. Outside of myself, Dominica needs some real journalists. Otherwise, I'm not in the very kind of... Let me leave that alone.
Was to empower our own Kalinago youth to be able to write stories, write features, write news, and to be able to have some sort of archive or documentation for the Kalinago community, for people who want to do research and all of that. So that is an ongoing program. It's still going on. These 4 young people are studying right now, and it's an online program. We have 1 person currently enrolled at one of the radio stations in Dominica, and we have another person who is doing her work, well, practicing through social media. So that's excellent, and I'm sure that the others will come on board gradually. One of the other...
There's one thing with journalism. There's always, like, if you go to work for somebody or you go to work under a different company, that person always has a right over you. I remember people like Kim Iverson. Kim Iverson is an independent journalist, just similar to what I'm doing. But she used to be under certain company, and they used to try to limit her. Well, not necessarily limit her, but when it comes down to the right thing or the thing that she was advocating for the most, when it actually happened, when she was able to interview whoever she was supposed to interview, as it was her thing right there, they tried to remove her from it. So as a result of that, she decided to retire from the companies to continue her own thing. I think this is where a lot of people tend to be focused when it comes down to, hey, I should work for this media company or this one. If you're a real journalist and you want to do things for yourself, you should just focus on, there are platforms out there, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. There are platforms out there that give you the privilege to do these things. Just like YouTube gave me the platform for me to blage. I can blage all I want and so forth and put things out there. Let's say if we can make sense out of the nonsense that is out there. So a lot of people tend to listen in and give their viewpoints as well. Exchange. Hey, Mystelics, what are you saying? That makes sense. Hey, Mystelics, I think you know, give your viewpoint and say certain things. Let's give an exchange so that people can see the interactions and whatnot. But if you're under a particular organization, they can always limit you. They can shut you up because you are dependent on them to make funds. And if you are dependent on them to make funds, they can control the narrative. This is a lot of what is happening in mainstream media. This is why if you go out there and you do research, you see a lot of them, like a lot of these medias are pretty much saying the very same thing. The very exact word for word same thing. And they want to make you believe that is their independent journalistic talents that they're using. They're not. They're reading the prompter that they're given by the heads and they're controlling the narrative. So I think, yes, working, get the little, you know, the little training or what have you, but then branch out on your own. I think that is the best way to do things.
Projects we embarked on was the bamboo afforestation project, and we empowered 10 Kalinago farmers, female farmers, to plant 1,500 bamboo plants across the territory in areas where land slippage was a problem, and also to enable the Kalinago territory to get a number of bamboo plants to act as a carbon sink if we're talking about climate change. And so that in itself was successful. Additionally, we were able to train 15 craft artisans in using the bamboo to be able to do crafts from this bamboo. And this was funded by the UNDP. We also got another grant funding from the Global Environment Fund, which we were able to use and train 26 indigenous farmers to get trained in apiculture. So these farmers were trained in basic apiculture techniques, and they were provided with about more than $30,000 worth of apiculture equipments. And
seems like and that running and it is the Prime Minister, because to me that is what the Prime Minister is supposed to be doing. What you're doing, what your team is doing, is exactly what the Prime Minister is supposed to be doing for Dominica. Organizing and getting equipments and being movers and shakers to organize things. There's something rather interesting that Prime Minister said. I think I'll post that tomorrow or today, because I have the other one to do anyways. We will see, let the spirit lead, man.
This project is still ongoing. The second phase of the project will include all the farmers receiving their nooks, and also the Kalinago territory benefiting from a processing facility where the farmers can use it to process their honey. We also embarked on our last project, which we just launched last month, which was the Football Enhancement Project, where we received funding from the French Embassy to be able to adopt a playing field, equip it with football goalposts, and also to train 10 indigenous youth to do the D-license football coaching. So these 10 indigenous youth would have then been used to train the younger under 13 to do a football academy in the territory. And therefore, with that kind of movement, we would have young people moving up in the football field and be able to get onto the national and international level. So this is where we are at. We also have some projects pending, which includes one, we have the upgrading of the Karina Cultural Village. We also have the other project where we will be preserving and protecting our underground water sources, which is very, very important. As we know that during disasters, the main water source is cut off. And then we are left to use our underground water sources. And we experienced that just a few weeks ago when the water was cut off and there were lines and lines of people waiting at the various underground water sources trying to get some water to drink. We also applied for cocoa processing and drying equipments to help our farmers in the cocoa industry to be able to dry their cocoa. And
a number of them were asking for cocoa, and I know a number of them actually reach out to me asking me about Grenada's cocoa. I'm like, doesn't Dominica produce cocoa? But it seems like the ability for them to produce it is not there, or it's limited. So I think that is a good move right there.
To process it. So this is where we are at after 2.5 years. So I just want to commend the various teams who have worked with me and who have really pushed me to enable these projects to come to make it a reality. So I really want to say thank you.
What's next? It seems like you're doing all this outside of being part of the government, outside of being a senator. You're doing all this because I guess you really care about your community.
So much for all the assistance and for all the encouragements that you give throughout these times. Now, elections.
Yes, sister.
As I said, a lot of people have been calling to find out where I am at with elections. And even up to this afternoon, I received a text from one of my good friends saying, Annette, will you run as an independent candidate? And there are many other family members and people who have been asking me that question. And so today I just want to make it clear that the United Workers' Party on a whole made a decision not to contest in the general elections, primarily because it is
unfair,
encouraging people to say that the elections will be a legitimate one, and it really is not a legitimate election. Now, as an independent candidate, I want to tell you, unfortunately, I will not be running as an independent candidate.
Because the way she was going there, I swear she give all her accolades and stuff, and she said this is what she has done and so forth and so forth. So I think it's my time for me to run again, for me to be able to, that's what I thought. But she's apparently not going to be running, guys.
Taking the position with all the opposition parties, and this is not just about the United Workers' Party. This is not about freedom, or this is not about NJAM. This is a people's movement. True. And I was very surprised this afternoon. I read something about Dr. I.P. Pascal on Dominica News Online, or Associate Times, sorry. And it spoke to encouraging people to nominations. My take on that is, well, first of all, the Associate Times, it's a propaganda machine for the Labour Party. If you go to that site, you will realize a lot of the news, it's about the United Workers' Party, and it's preaching a lot of negative vibes about people of the negative party.
I think there's also another one where the other one was stating about Lennox being involved with one of the people that the government allegedly brought in to try to frame Lennox them. So there was another article stating these things where they said he took pictures with Lennox somewhere and then looked the man at Lennox home, bringing suitcase of money and stuff, and then only to find out, you're looking at the background information, Lennox them actually had the cameras on to showcase what the actual background, or what they calling that, the behind the scenes was. They had the behind the scenes, but they staged it to come and pretend as if they tried to frame Lennox, and Lennox was a part of this whole thing. And Lennox them had the camera there and they brought it out. You see how interesting it is? You see how interesting the kind of things that we're playing in, guys? Anyways.
So, firstly, I wouldn't trust that medium.
Don't trust them at all.
Secondly, the decision to stay away from the election was not a United Workers' Party decision. It was a decision made by opposition bodies. So it's not just United Workers' Party speaking, it's the Freedom Party, it's NJAM, it's CCM, and it's a whole movement of people who are not in agreement with the Prime Minister calling elections so early.
It's not necessarily about so early, but the free and fairness of the elections.
And even if,
but yes, early as well.
If it's legal, it would have been okay if he had called it early and these reforms were in place.
I agree. You cannot promise the people are going to have electoral reform, and then the moment it's starting is the time you call in elections. That making sense to you? Then come in and tell the people who so blind that they cannot see that the UWP went to some of DLP people and saw the candidates and decide, hey, but I cannot run against that person, and decide to run away. Foolish! What stupidness you telling people? What kind of level of foolish do you have to be to believe that stupidness there? Huh? People can't see that it's clear that you realize the legacy, your election legacy, will be tainted as a result of the of electoral reform.
But calling an election when you promised that the reforms would have been in place before the next general elections, I think it's totally unfair. I think it's a coward move by this Prime Minister.
Yes, very cool.
And it will just be a waste of our time if we go into this election knowing that we are going to lose.
Against the odds, yeah.
I will take some of your questions after I'm done, but I just want to highlight that I'm very, very disappointed that my brother Kosea would support such an unfair move by the Prime Minister.
Your real brother?
And I think it highlights...
That's your real brother, or is just your Kalinago brother? By the way, I have Kalinago in me here, so I must come and join this kind of activities that you're playing there. My grandmother was like half Kalinago. You know, for those of you who know my family, you will see different kind of shades and different things in us. That would tell you. So yeah, I pat Kalinago to her sister, so I Kalinago brother. You see me? Alright.
Like some of his opportunistic and materialistic tendencies. Because this election is all about Roosevelt SKERRIT.
Yep.
It's not about the people of Dominica.
It's not about the new candidates either. The new candidates are just there to make a show. They are just there to make a show.
This election,
and it seems like they're targeting the young ones, so they go for the young people out there so that the young people can say, hey, we get a young representative, let's go and vote for them, not realizing that it's the same head that there. You have the same head, different people, same outcome gonna be there. Because it's the same head. How people don't understand that it's simple. 1 + 1 is 2. Some people want to say 1 + 1 now is a billion. That is crazy right there.
Election is not about Kosea Frederick. It's not about the people of the Kalinago territory. It's about Kosea Frederick and what he wants. And I will tell you why. Firstly, I drove up the road, Mahot River, recently. And the roads are terrible. And there was this truck in front of me, this Labour truck, passing with some music system saying Labour Katwa Vibe.
Boy, eh.
And this truck is passing on the roads that are filled with areas of landslides and all of that. Imagine you have a PALREP spending maybe about $400 on this truck, passing on these terrible roads with landslide.
For you to sing praises to your oppressor.
Lots of dirt in the road still.
And guys, the reason why I'm laughing about this is because as she's saying this there, I remember there's a vehicle, I saw a video of his same truck in Pottersville area. Pottersville? It's Pottersville, not Pottersville, Newton area. And the vehicle was by the gas station, playing Labour, all these kind of things there, Labour walking, whatever. And then you're looking at the road that the vehicle is driving on, and you wondering if those people have eyesight, you know. Labour working, but you driving on the road that crack up all kind of things on the road. It's like people just take something and they'll throw on the road and they'll decide, hey, let's pass a iron truck on it to flatten the road, and that's it. That's what it looks like.
And he's using these monies to pay this truck to pass around with music, singing the good songs of Labour
on dilapidated roads. That is something else, boy.
But our roads are terrible.
Our schools are not built. I mean, come on. The police station leaking. That doesn't tell you something, boy. Hey. Anyway, let me continue.
Is this someone that really cares for you? I think it's time that we, the Kalinago people, wake up. We need to wake up from our slumber. When we look at the healthcare system in the Kalinago territory, what has become of healthcare in the territory? Our Salibe Health Facility has been shut down for 4 months now. 4 months.
And that is in Labour Party thing, you know. Labour Party candidate that running things in Kalinago territory. They are the PALREP, so immediately you cannot tell your boy, all you do easy in that place, they know.
People from the Curvish River area have to go all the way up to Mahot River to get health care. And when you go to Mahot River,
I'm sure it's not good.
The healthcare structure itself is still in dire need of upgrading in the infrastructure.
It sucks. Just say it sucks. Just like the Dominica Hospital, we had nice building. We had nice looking building, no doubt about it. Congratulations on the nice looking building, but if this service sucks, it sucks, people. It sucks.
I was there recently.
Not all the time, you know, don't get me wrong, but majority of the time, come on. I remember just back in the day, people were complaining about paracetamol, that paracetamol in the hospital. Hey, but we high for one hifu.
With my daughter, and whilst we were there, the sink, the face basin just fell. And
even as she mentioning that, I remember when it was raining some time back, they just built the building, rain falling and inside the building flooding. You don't remember that? Rain falling outside and inside the new building, it flooding inside the new building.
I tell you, I'm sure that the face basin is still where it is today. 4 months, the health center has been shut in Salibia because of plumbing and electrical issues.
And they have a representative that are trying to represent the people there. And look, they're trying to come back for elections, and that is what is happening. People trying to come back into elections for people to vote for them, and things that they're supposed to do, they're not doing. But they want to be re-elected. It don't seem like people seeing. What people seeing, you know, it's not that they're seeing, they want for themselves. Hey, what can you give me for my vote? Not realizing, even if I will give you $5,000 and you fall sick and you go in the hospital have the proper equipment, you pay. But people don't see that. They see in the morning myself, me.
What is the government doing for healthcare? We've been calling for a doctor for some time now. No doctor at the health center. One nurse, when that one nurse go on sick leave, who is left to take care of their people? No one. Where do you go to get your medication? The pharmacist doesn't come up anymore. Before we had a pharmacist come in at least with the doctor, but now what happened? What is happening?
So it's not forward, we going is backward? And then you hear in the truck saying forward, whatever they say, labor forward.
You have to travel all the way to Casabruce, or the nurse has to take your book.
And Casabruce still have the proper equipment, are you sure?
And send it down to Casabruce. When last has Kozia Frederick visited?
Well, she don't say that, but
any of these healthcare facilities, or had some kind of discussion with the nurses to find out their needs?
Hey, come on, this thing fall down, This thing fall down. Things are missing. You need certain professions in certain areas, and they're not there. So obviously, you're not going nowhere. You just want to collect his money. Collect his money as PAL rep, and he's supposed to represent the people. He's not representing the people properly. What do you expect to happen now? Nothing. The man know if he go there, he make a vote just like Postmov. These people say if you put a dog there to run, people are going to vote for the dog. And there's nothing that have to happen. That is the mentality. So these people know that is the mentality. They'll come and be in position just to be a placeholder to make the DLP team win. And all they have to do is just do nothing. And then they get the people vote.
Tell me, when last has any of your leaders, whether it be Andre Frederick, who is all about with Kozia Cassius, advocated for better health for your people?
He advocated for better health and nothing is being done for healthcare. I don't know, it's talk. You know, nice to say things. Hey, come, I'll give you money, everybody. Come, I'll give you money. I'll give you billions of dollars. Come true. All right, give you billions of dollars. It's nice to say, not too nice. When it comes down to the action, nothing.
Kozia has been silent on major issues within the territory. It had to take Anton Laville from Atkinson to stand up and speak about the road issues for the people in the area. And the reason why Clint Rabes in Atkinson got a retaining wall for his home, it's because he stood up and he spoke with Anton. Where's your chief? Where is Kozia Frederick to stand up and speak for you? There are many Kalinago people right now whose homes are literally hanging over the road. And if the rain continue to fall, these homes are going to land right down on the road.
But sister, let me stop you right there, guys. I'll post this link in the video description below so you guys can check it out. But sister, if the people allowing that to happen, the people themselves seeing what is happening to themselves, and they still going back and forth for the same thing, should we really feel sorry for them? Should we? They're seeing what is happening to them. It's not hey, I don't know, you know, they see what happening to them and they still going to do the same thing over and over. You don't think people have a problem, guys? What are your thoughts, man? Leave your thoughts in the comment box below, guys. Don't forget to check out the second one I'm going to be posting here today. And of course, definitely give this video a thumbs up and subscribe and turn on that post notifications so you can get more videos as they tend to come for us. See you guys in the next reaction video. Boom, bang.